Me versus the machine. And the story that I always go back to when I hear something like that is the old uh, urban legend, where it was oh, what was the guy's name that drove the railroad spikes versus the machine steam gun
Yep.
railroad spike
Y-
driver, and
y-
John Henry or John Aaron. Uh,
just something like that. I
yeah,
know the story you're talking about.
and
Yeah.
he's like, and so you look at that and you go, oh, humans are the same. We've not really changed. All those railroad guys are worried about the steam engines coming out and taking their jobs, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we're sort of worried about, as white collar guys are like, is AI coming to take all of our jobs? And so, talk to me about that, or your opinion on that. Like, why do we have that reaction to new technology across the board every time?
Yeah. Well,
And
okay.
then how do we fix
Yeah.
that? Like, how do we not do that?
Okay, so I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and like what it turns out is there's two things we need to like look at when every new disruption shows up on the landscape. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be the steam engine. It could be it could be as simple as the GPS, right? Like some of these are world-changing global implications, like the telephone. Some are like the combustion engine, and then some are smaller. But all of these disruptions, you have to be aware of two things. The first is Lumiere's law. And Lumiere's law states that we tend to use new technologies the way we use old technologies. So we look at new technology the way we look at old technology. A good example would be like the internal combustion engine. When that was first invented and they started developing what would become cars, they basically called it the horseless carriage, right? Like they didn't have a conception of what it was. It wasn't something new. It was just an evolution of something old. They looked at it like a horseless carriage. And it took 20 years for them to figure out that they can't treat this like a horseless carriage. Like it needs to have new kinds of rules. We need to have roads. We need to have pavement. We need to have sidewalks. Like we need to have stop signs and go signs. And like the whole world changed when they realized it needs to be something new. We can't look at it in this old way.